Hello and welcome to the Dream Warrior Review, episode 12. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
I can actually describe this movie really in one sentence.
I'll go for it.
Batman feels bad about something, and he has to do something about that. There's this horrible demonic being named Steppenwolf who they have to battle against.
Exactly.
And they have to band together. Yeah. So they form a team called
the Justice League.
Which,
Space Team.
I have to say that I was an enormous Justice League. In fact, I was a DC guy when I was like a little kid.
Really?
And it's just because of my brothers. They were 7 years older than me, and I inherited their comic books.
Oh, yeah?
And I remember reading the Aquaman where he was wearing orange and green, and he did talk to fish. But I love the Justice Leagues. Those are my favorite DC comics. And I was a huge Superman fan, but I liked the whole team thing. I don't know why that was. And I wasn't an X-Men fan really like I was Justice League. So I was looking forward to this movie for that reason. Yeah. And I think a lot of the scenes were kind of written like comic booky, like when they're battling the guy and they stop to say one line.
See, I can really tell that you're enthusiastic about this because I can't get a word in.
I know. I can keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going with that.
So, well, when they're battling the beast, they pause and they, Aquaman would say something stupid.
Yeah.
And then,
Exactly. Yeah.
They all take turns fighting him.
Yeah. There was a lot of taking turns and trying to beat the guy up.
And it was hard for me to accept Aquaman as a cool guy because he really wasn't cool in the old days.
Yeah, he was. Back in the day. Well, yeah, who cared about Aquaman? Yeah. So did they go too far the other way? I mean, they tried to make him hip. I mean, not just
Well, we should break down each character,
really
I feel.
I get a feeling, this is my second time seeing this, okay? And in the second time, I came away with something completely different from the first time I saw it. This time, I came away with a very specific line on each character. I didn't believe the bad guy for a moment. Mm-hmm. I mean, and all of his minions, I believe, looked exactly like the Moth.
Well, I kept thinking a cross between the Moth, the guy from the Tick.
Yeah, right.
And,
right.
And I kept thinking of Wizard of Oz when they were flying around, and
right,
like flying monkeys.
And I couldn't figure out quite why everything seemed to be growing in this really weird way. I didn't get all that, but the characters themselves, I didn't much believe. Now, and don't get me wrong. It's not that I didn't like the film. I kind of liked it.
Well, they had to be very quick with the backgrounds of each character. Yeah. I feel like they should have done a separate movie on each one and then done Justice League.
Yeah, how come they don't? I mean, they always do with Marvel.
See, I didn't recognize. I couldn't remember that guy, the Cyclops or whatever his name was.
What was he?
Mechanical guy.
They call him the Cyclops. Is that it?
I can't remember.
You're gonna have to look that up. Yeah. But you know what? I really like the Flash. That is his name, the Flash.
Yes, the Flash. That character was awesome. So
Flash
was my favorite character, and like he was true to the Flash, where he was comical, and he would say silly things, and he was very kind of immature, I guess, compared to the other guys.
You're describing him as me.
Well, actually, I was almost felt like I was describing myself a little bit, but but I'm not that fast.
Well, in this podcast, you're the adult. You've noticed that, right?
Well, that's a really scary thought.
Yeah, it is.
So, and I really have a problem with. I am absolutely not a Ben Affleck fan, and I can't buy. I've never been able to buy him as Batman, and I really hate. This is what's his name? Christian Bale started this. They talk like this when they're Batman.
And you know what? I've never cared about Batman. Period. I mean, I've even worked on one of the movies, one of Joel Silver. Well, I worked on the Penguin's Lair.
Oh, really?
I made the miniature for Penguin's
was that
Lair.
Batman Forever, was it? Or the second one? I think it was.
It was one of them.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah. I would but Batman has never impressed me very much. But Gal Gadot, I mean,
I think I like the first Batman. I remember liking that one a lot.
I like
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then Ben Affleck is a very marginal actor in my opinion. He's not very good. He's like milk toast. He's always the same in every scene. It doesn't matter if he's Batman or if he's some guy like teaching a English class or something. He's the same character no matter what.
Yeah.
And then there was a scene where he was talking to Wonder Woman, and they were basically on the same level of acting. And I was like, wow, she's doing really well if she's right up there with Ben Affleck.
Well, I just have to say that I just loved The Flash. I loved the introduction to him. He's got that humorous, the things that they had him do when he was pushed the sword back and on. That was a great shot.
The scene where he was looking at Superman like,
yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, and he gets away with it. Now, is this the Superman that they've been sticking with?
It was Cyborg.
Cyborg. Oh, okay, well, there you go. Yeah.
But I don't really know the backstory on that one very well.
But has this is the Superman that was in the one before?
The Dawn of Justice, I think.
Because he just seems really oddly cast. I don't believe him. I mean, I could believe him as Batman's lawyer. Or maybe Batman's accountant. Ooh, Batman's accountant. Super accountant.
Well, I was comparing him to Batman, then I realized how much better that guy playing Superman was better than Ben Affleck. See, I kept thinking about Ben Affleck. It ruined the movie for me.
No, see, you're stuck on Ben Affleck. I'm stuck on The Flash.
So I've got you can see that I have a obsession here. But
you should.
So Superman Returns. That's one that I was thinking about, along with the Dawn of Justice. I mean, those are two different actors, but the approach to the movie was similar to this one, where it's just like so much, that it's all flat looking.
That's exactly it. Well, and unfortunately in this one, it got that way at the end in particular. By the time we got to the end, there was just so much. And the thing is there was an effect, and I'm not going to get into what it was, but there was an effect that was so prevalent. Just the growing thing.
Yeah.
That
almost worms.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
And didn't you have to ask, what was it? I mean,
know.
Why?
I thought there were veins at first.
It's almost like they were there specifically for the reason to be there.
Yeah.
And they kept growing and destroying things left and right, and it was kind of distracting.
Was that the underworld growing out of the earth or something? I don't know. I mean, just
it just didn't make any sense.
Could they come up with a better term than mother box?
Mother box. Yeah, that was a little creepy.
It's like we had to keep him away from the mother box. But yeah, so
and if you reach in right here and separate them.
Is there going to be blowback?
Yeah, boy, you bet.
So actually,
especially this year, there's been a lot of blowback from that sort of thing.
The more I think about Aquaman, actually, I thought he was actually kind of a cool character, but I had to forget.
I didn't dislike Aquaman. I know what you were talking about, the old Aquaman.
Yeah, it's hard to compare those two.
The
two different worlds.
However, the fight underwater with Aquaman was pretty poor. That was like,
it could have been a lot better.
Yeah. By the end of it, I have to say I liked it a lot more the second time.
We forgot Gal.
We forgot what?
The Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
She was awesome, like she was in the last one.
Yeah, she was.
And she's not the best actress, but she is
just absolutely gorgeous.
Was Linda? I said Hamilton earlier.
Yeah, you said Linda. See, now you
it's
did
not Lovelace, is it?
No. Although she could. Linda Carter.
Yeah. So was Linda Carter a good actress, really?
No. No.
I mean, I kind of think of her. Gal Gadot, wasn't she like a model or something? She wasn't really an actress. I don't know her background.
Well, if you want to find my example here of the perfect, there's an Indian film that has the perfect.
Really?
Superwoman or Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Wow.
See, if I could think about it, I would go right here to my phone, but I can't talk and do it.
Italian Spider-Man. It's like the
it's very much like the Italian Spider-Man.
Indian Wonder Woman.
It's almost exactly the same thing.
So the guy that played Cyborg was I think he was kind of nondescript, and I couldn't really describe whether it was a good character or not. Like,
well, and his suit of whatever was not very well done. I mean,
well, every time they showed the villain, it looked like it was a flat page, and they just drew him on there. Like,
yeah,
and whose voice was
the
that?
villain? I have no idea.
Well, let me say something about Justice League compared to Thor, since I just watched those in the last 2 weeks.
Okay,
I thought Thor was a lot better than this one overall.
Oh yeah, no, there is no doubt. Well, the thing is, I think Thor was better written, as in the characters. The characters,
right? Okay. Yeah.
The characters, they had a jokey, a loose, point of view, and I think that they played this so serious that.
Well, they didn't spend any time with characters. They only this is all about action. We have to fight this guy. That's pretty much all it was.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it was. And the thing is then you kind of fell back on a character that you liked, and that's kind of how I fell for Flash and
Yep. Yeah, I mean, my favorite characters were definitely, Flash and Wonder Woman were my two favorites.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly what it comes down to. You're just kind of watching your character.
Then I just want Ben Affleck to go away. Like, somebody else please do this. And maybe the Superman could be replaced, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Superman.
He's kind of, I mean, he's okay, but I think there's better actors out there. I can't think of one right now off the top of my head that could take over.
I swear Christopher Reeve's face, was just...
He wasn't really muscular, but
he just had that.
Yeah,
he had just absolutely the right face. He really did.
Well, I think I said before about him, he had like a lot of charisma, and it carried through.
And it came through.
Yeah. So, I
think it was odd that the original, the TV Batman in the early '60s was also called Reeves.
Yes.
That's what was his first name? It wasn't Christopher Reeves? It was.
The original Batman?
George Reeves.
George Reeves. Okay.
Right, George Reeves, right. No, the original
guy
Superman.
in the 40s, right?
Yeah, the 50s. Yeah,
50s, okay.
Late 40s, early 50s.
I know, I've seen, actually, I have a couple of DVDs of that, actually. Yeah, and those were very straightforward scripts.
And you talk about not quite the correct physique.
Right. Yeah, he was a little overweight, I think, if I remember.
He was...
little flab going on, but
he was like Dad Superman.
Actually, yeah. When the first time I saw that when I was a kid, I thought of my dad with a cape.
Right, exactly. Well, exactly. Whenever he flew, the cape would just kind of like.
So I think what happened was, I don't know. Maybe this is just my opinion, but I think Batman took a dark turn back in. I think even when Michael Keaton was Batman, it was still kind of light a little bit. I mean, there was some dark scenes and stuff, but it was still kind of a light approach to it, I think, a little bit more, because there's more jokes and like he was
but we know the one
time with
but and then Joel Schumacher came in and did Gay Batman, which was oh my god, what was that all about? And the thing is the whole town knew that it was Gay Batman when it was filming, because because I had all these friends and they're coming back from set and they're like, oh my god, it's like it's interesting, interesting at the time,
right?
It meant interesting,
right? Yeah, that's right. Well, I guess what I'm getting at is it took a turn like where it just got really dark and serious and. Like when Christian Bale was...
Right, And
same thing with Superman. Superman started taking that same turn, and then they did that
Superman went
where they're fighting each other. I mean, that was really dark there.
Yeah.
And then so they're trying to take the Justice League in that direction. I think it's the wrong move. I think they should be going back kind of where Thor is going, a little bit more the fun way.
Yeah, because...
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
If you're going to go that serious, you have to have people like Christian Bale. You have to have people that you can look at that can handle that heavy stuff, and I don't know that they've really.
Christian Bale's intense. They
don't have that intensity right now.
So I'm a Howard Stern fan, and I feel so sorry for Christian Bale.
And I'm sorry about that.
Well, you shouldn't be, but I feel sorry for Christian Bale because Howard likes to play this clip of Christian Bale like screaming at people on the set.
Yeah,
as they get in his sight line, and he gets all upset and he screams at them. It's like an 8-minute rant of him screaming. So I mean, but that tells you how intense he is.
Oh yeah, well,
and Ben Affleck, I can't imagine even getting passionate about anything. Maybe a donut. I mean,
I've been around.
I don't know.
I've been around those people on stage. Boy, they're terrible. The eyeline people are horrible.
Right.
It's like clear my eyeline. Like you have people that are like go beyond the eyeline. They have you turn around.
Oh god, yeah.
Connie Francis, way back when.
Connie Francis was the one that's saying "I'm sorry" or whatever.
But I can't remember. We were working with her on Tales from the Dark Side. I mean, just and she was like an eyeline beast, we called them eyeline monsters. It's just it just makes it like, and the thing is you get trapped because if it's a bad take, she's gonna find somebody that turn around and pick on, or she's gonna tear down the craft service girl walking 400 feet in the background. Oh my god.
Well, if I remember right, he was screaming at somebody. It was a lighting guy, I think, or something, and the guy was like, well, I just wanted to make sure everything was correct. It was like, you hear this very timid guy in the background like, I'm sorry, Mr. Bale. You can just see this guy wanting to like run away, but I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe why don't they bring him back as a Batman? Forget about this. And why are they changing the outfit so much? I don't like Batman's new outfit either.
Yeah, this outfit particularly.
It had like paisley on it or something. It was weird.
Yeah, and it was
almost like cloth over his face.
And it bulked out so much.
Well, that's because he's not muscular, really. I think
I get that. I get that, but the thing is
did you see him without a shirt? You saw Superman without a shirt, Aquaman without a shirt. I mean, sorry, but Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah,
you'd have to have like a stunt double. I mean, I shouldn't be picking
a shirt double.
Ben Affleck too much, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway,
he's right up there with Matt Damon for me.
Are we ever gonna wrap this up?
No, I'm just gonna talk about Ben Affleck.
Yeah. I'm ready to see a Flash movie. I really am.
I feel like I've been robbed of seeing the background for the Flash and the
great
cyborg guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I already know Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman.
I want to pull those two people out of that.
Yeah, totally.
and see them. Aquaman, I really liked the Aquaman character, but they don't do underwater stuff very well. So I want to see I just want to see him. He has some nice tattoos. I mean, some nice tattoos.
Yeah, well,
and his hair is long and great.
At first, I thought he looks kind of like Rob Zombie. Oh my goodness, we'll see. Exactly. I'll take Wonder Woman. You take Aquaman.
Well, there you go.
So, in a nutshell, okay, let's recap.
I liked The Flash. I didn't think the bad guy had any reality, and I felt like he was surrounded by the Tick's assistant, the Moth, replicated thousands of times, only with real teeth.
Yes.
And as far as the rest of it goes, it was a good enough story.
Yeah, it was good overall, I think. But I think what they try to do is they try to be serious, but at the same time they're trying to do the one-liners that they used in the cartoons, and it didn't really jive.
Yeah, they didn't. The natural. You know what? Let's put it this way: if it comes down to a choice, if your movie buck stops at Ragnarok, then you made a good decision.
Yeah, I would spend it on Thor. In fact, I would even spend it on one of the last X-Men movies, probably even over this one.
Well, I mean, Deadpool. Come on.
See, Deadpool for me is an interesting character because he's funny, but he's kind of dark too. I mean, he has some very dark humor.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of.
But Deadpool and Spider-Man, both of those this year were pretty good.
And I missed Spider-Man.
So you missed Spider-Man?
I know. I still need to watch that because I'm sitting here talking about a superhero movie, and I didn't see one of them.
Well, first,
how would you compare Spider-Man to this one?
Oh, there's no comparison at all. Spider-Man was spot on.
Well, there you go. I guess that's.
I think the groups of characters are hard to do. I think.
You don't think the Avengers kind of pulled it off? I mean,
no.
Really?
No, I don't think they did. I think it's hard to focus on some. That's what this film lacked. It lacked focus.
But see, the Avengers, you have some stronger people like Robert Downey Jr. is pretty freaking awesome.
Right.
So I mean, I think he kind of carries it a little bit.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. But do you like him together with the group as much as you liked Iron Man?
No.
See?
Definitely not. No.
See, you're making my argument for me.
There you go. Yeah. I guess I
can get lazy.
I walked into that one.
Yeah, you did. Boy, you did. You just hit you right in the face. Okay.
Let's talk about Superman 4. No, I'm just kidding.
No. I'm going home.
Do you think what was that? That was the one Richard Pryor was in, wasn't
it? Bye, folks.
Oh wait, I have another question for you.
Sure.
How would you relate? Okay, let's take Justice League, Thor, and Fantastic Four, the one you worked on, and the other one that we talked about the other day. One of my favorite movies. Why am I blanking on it?
Why are you blanking on it?
The you know what I'm talking about, Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon?
So how would you rank all those movies? Or how would you compare them all?
That's interesting.
Flash Gordon, Fantastic Four, Roger Corman one, Thor, and Justice League. How would you kind of compare them all? Compare and contrast.
Some of the great shots in Flash Gordon actually
were in Thor.
It's really some of the really weird, goofy with the big gun and stuff.
So you really can't compare Fantastic Four to anything, really. I mean, because it's so special.
It's special kind of in a little bus way.
Right.
Special as in a different classroom, that kind of way.
I just remember, for some reason, I keep thinking, I mean, I saw it once, that was recently, actually, but I just remember one scene where these two guys were jumping to get somebody, I guess, I don't know, and they ran into each other. I don't know why.
Oh, they ran, yeah.
I don't know why that image is in my head.
And it was just a jump.
That's why.
Yeah, and it was just a jump cut, right? It wasn't like special magic or anything. No. It's not like he went out with an effect or anything. It's just that they did a jump cut, right?
I know why it's stuck in my head, because it was the DVD menu and it kept looping. And I kept seeing these guys bumping into each other. I was like... So, not that there's a DVD out there of it. I'm just saying.
No, because nobody made that DVD.
No, it doesn't exist.
Oh no. What I think is funny is how many people I talk to that look at that and think that I put that in my resume as a joke.
Right.
which is really really.
That's a joke in itself.
I've had people look at it and go, "Oh yeah, they never made that movie." And I go, "Oh God, we're only so."
It's all over. I mean, you can find it anywhere now. I mean,
yeah, and you can find it anywhere. And oh yeah, that's a whole story in itself. Can I point out something?
Right.
I want to say that when I was working in the movies, that we didn't have such a high profile sense of the comic books.
Right.
I would say that the first true comic book that was done well would have to be Batman.
I thought you were going to say Fantastic Four.
No,
Roger
well, I was getting to that.
Is this story time?
It's story time. It is story time. It is story time.
Story time. Story time. It's story time with Mick. Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick.
I did that Fantastic Four in '92, and it was so that Constantine could retain the rights.
Right. Yeah.
And we had no money at all. I mean, we were just there to retain the rights.
Right, yeah.
So we had to make a workable movie of the Fantastic Four to retain the rights. And so we had a lot of, there was no effects or anything that had been applied to it.
Right.
They did later on actually put some on, and that's totally owing to the director himself. Marvel didn't want to have anything to do with it, and Corman really didn't. Corman was done. They were done at the end of the year. That was the thing, is we had to shoot half of it before the end of the year. So we did all the sets and everything down at Corman's horrible lumberyard / stage, and we went away for 4 days. And when we came back, they had repainted all the sets. They had shot 2 separate movies. They'd taken Mole Man's Lair and shot a movie over there, and then they had shot another one over on the big Dr. Doom's castle. It was pretty interesting. It was funny as hell because,
well, he was a B.
Don't do that.
He was the king of the B movies who would roll stuff out like constantly.
No,
right?
he was not the king of the B movies.
He wasn't?
He was the king of the foreign release movies.
The foreign release movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, B movies were so far above the realm of what he did.
Okay. Okay, I guess I never really thought about it. I don't know.
No, I mean, very little, very, very little of his
low
stuff.
budget, very low budget.
Well, every once in a while he would have a film that would come back from foreign distribution and be, released on the tail end with a little American, straight to video when video first came out. And all those were just individual. No, his thing was he would make a film for, like $50,000 and it would, all be lip sync.
Right. I guess I need to see more of his movies. I've only seen a few. Probably.
There's no reason to. I absolutely.
I like
Carnosaur.
I kind of like. Yeah, Carnosaur. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, Carnosaur 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? It'd be interesting to see how many he went to.
Yeah. Well, I like the Godzilla movies, and that's kind of similar in a way.
Well,
low budget, a lot of bad dubbing.
Here's an interesting little story. We would see people's resumes come across my desk, and if you look at a resume, and you would see like within 1 year they had done maybe 20 movies, between 10 and 20 movies, and you would look there and you would know that they had done that. That was all done with Corman,
right?
Because nobody else could do that, or would want to do that, or should do that. I mean, but you would see that. You would see. I mean, it's not like anybody worked there for 5 years or anything like that. That was unheard of. But you put in 1 year, and you did 20 films. And then you would look at somebody's resume. They'd have 20 films, and then the next year they would do like 3 or maybe 4, and you would say, well, this is the year that you quit. You quit working over at Rogers' place, huh? Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, the very thought, the scary thought of going in and doing a film with a 4 to 6 day schedule.
Right. That's crazy.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like just one take for everything, I guess.
Well, yeah, but it actually, there is kind of an odd secret to it, to doing it well, but you're not likely to be doing it all that well when you're at Corman's. So yeah, it's interesting. You see how they actually come up with those films. I've not seen very many of them. I just know that usually once the camera started rolling, it didn't stop until 6 days was up, and I mean straight.
Wow. That's amazing. Actually, it'd be fun to watch them create it, actually.
Well, but it was more like an annex to a film school,
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's like, it's that other building part of the film school on the other side of the cafeteria.
Do you think he did a lot of screaming?
Yeah, well.
Do this, now! Yeah. The camera's rolling!
Well, yeah, but... He wasn't there. I mean, he would actually write.
He'd write it and produce it.
He would write a lot of them, and his name would be on it. But there was just such a constant turnover. But everything was right there on that lot. I mean, here was an old lumber yard, and it had, I guess loosely put, it had 2 big stages and maybe a little other stage, and it had all these flats that had been there forever, and it would have a crew of itinerant workers that he would literally have pull nails out of the flats and take them apart and reassemble them, because you didn't spend new money on things.
Why would you?
Right. Exactly. Why would you?
Why would you need like safety or anything?
No, it was. But the thing is, the editing was right there. Everything. And he had rules, like if you were on a location, you couldn't take a generator with you.
Oh wow.
You had to go. So they would send the crew out, and one of the things that would be in their grip package, and by the way, it would be a bunch of guys just throwing stuff in the back of a pickup. That was your grip truck. The electrician showed, I said, well, how do you deal with power? And he says, well, we have 2 of these. and it was basically 3 clamps that you could. The first thing you learned at Corman was how to open up the electrical box to the house next door.
Right. That's awesome.
And take and so you'd see the electricians would just be over there and stealing power off of the house next door, and that's because it would take all 3 houses in a row in order to actually light, the 3 antique lights that they actually had.
Jeez.
It was pretty interesting. I think I actually told you the story about turning the camera over for the.
Yes,
yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you had to know that stuff.
Again, I'm Kurt Thomas along with Mick Strawn. Thank you for joining us on Dream Warrior Review. We welcome your feedback, and if you have any questions or burning desires or just ideas for our show, we welcome email at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com. Our music was by Blood God, and please do join us next time on Dream Warrior Review.